I don't know if you guys saw, but Elon Musk was on a bit of a tweeting spree last night. He just was tweeting like minute after minute after minute. He tweeted like, I don't know, couple dozen times in a period of a couple hours. I don't know what happened. Maybe just a rough night, but either way, a lot going on in crypto this morning between Bitcoin, Ethereum. The market's down a little bit, but we got a lot to talk about in today's video, from what's going on with institutional investors, a massive price prediction from Ethereum from a major institution, which is actually pretty surprising because most of the time institutions have not been so pro Ethereum lately. They talk about it, they talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, but they don't really say that they are all in on Ethereum. But this changed with an investment management firm that owns over $75 billion in assets. Pretty exciting stuff there. We're also going to go over Elon Musk, what he said about Dogecoin, and what he said about crypto in general. At the end, we're going to wrap it up with a couple things going on in China and the bans they put in place, why they've done it, and a couple of things in China that are already starting to happen with regards to central bank digital currencies, with regards to crypto and everything else going on. So if you guys enjoy this sort of content, well, please be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and also check me out on public.com. It's like a Twitter combined with Robinhood. So you could buy stocks, sell stocks, and you can also see exactly what I have in my portfolio. It's like a social media combined with investing. So if you want to see exactly what I own completely for free, just go ahead and follow me on that app. Just go to public.com/Michael, completely free. And it's just like a Twitter. You just follow me. You'll see all the stocks I own. But if you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the video, and let's get right into it this morning. Today is Thursday, July 1st, first day of July. Q2 of 2021 wrapped up yesterday for the stock market. So talked about a couple of things yesterday, Palantir, Neo, if you didn't see those already. Pretty exciting videos, but let's get right into it this morning. Let's go over market first, market analysis. We always start off with this. But right now, market analysis. The market this morning is down about 1.5%. Not doing too great, but relatively stable. We have seen Bitcoin really start to stabilize between that $30,000, $35,000 per coin range. It has just been in that channel for a couple of weeks now, getting to be a bit annoying that we're not seeing it break out in either direction. But you know what? I guess it's better than seeing it drop. Right now, Bitcoin's at $33,627. Ethereum's at $2,100. Good to see Ethereum still above $2,000 per coin. Binance coins, relatively stable as well. Dogecoin's making a little move up about 1.4%. Everything across the board, relatively flat. Only one that looks like it has any sort of significant movement is Solana. It's a crypto, a DeFi coin that we have talked about quite a bit on the channel. One that I like a lot, it's up 3.4%. Either way, though, with Bitcoin, just quickly before we get into the major topics with institutions and all of that stuff, I just want to quickly talk about Bitcoin, a couple of things with the charts. So when we look at Bitcoin's chart right now, the other day we had passed the 100-day moving average, and it was a sign that we could be entering a bull market. It was exciting news, but the thing is we said specifically how it had to sustain the break above it, and if it didn't sustain the break above the 100-day moving average, so essentially, if you guys don't know, the 100-day moving average is a key indicator. Basically, it's just the average price over the last 100 days, and so here's the 100-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. You can see we had passed it the other day, only briefly. Now we're back down below it. So that means that, you know what, we're not in a bullish trend yet. We didn't break through it. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. If we look at the 50-day moving average, same sort of thing with this. We had broken above the 50-day moving average, and now we are back down below it. You can see right here, 4-hour chart, we are right at that 50-day moving average. To be above it, we'd have to be around $34,000 per coin. Either way, a lot of people are saying that we are going to find support at this $30,000 per coin range. That's nothing new. Anyone who comes out and says that, you know what, we have seen this for a while. Bitcoin's price has just been in this channel of between $30,000 and $35,000, $30,000 and $40,000 per coin for a while, and we still are trending downwards, but all we need is to see a major break above the 50-day and 100-day moving average, and we should be off and running. Let's go over a couple of things that people are saying in the chat before we get into the good stuff today. People are talking about Elon's tweet pumping up the market. Yeah, last night Elon Musk was just tweeting like crazy. And it's like he goes a couple of days, he doesn't really tweet so much, but then all of a sudden we see like tweet after tweet after tweet, and it's just like crazy. Something happens. Maybe he gets a little bit of free time, so he's like, I gotta catch up. But that's what always happens with Elon Musk. We'll get into that in a bit. That'll be like our sort of in the middle. What is that? Right in the middle. Yeah, right after we talk about Ethereum. But anyways, let's start off by talking about what's going on with institutions. Because there's a lot going on with institutions that I find pretty exciting. So the first thing is institutional investors have come out the other day, and a couple of hedge fund managers, a couple of crypto exchange CEOs, they've come out and spoken about the status of whale accounts and institutions. So the first thing is they say that it appears like there is a clearance sale. And what they mean by this is that Bitcoin's prices dropped from 65,000 down to 30,000. So in the big scheme of things, it's like many people are viewing crypto as having a clearance sale, being like 50% off, a great buying opportunity, but they say institutions aren't running in. So despite there being a sign of a bear market that investors are scared of, we don't see a massive outflow from institutional users. So this article, what they're talking about, they're like really talking about both sides. So the first thing is right now, institutions, what we're seeing is that even though the market is down, even though prices look good, we're not seeing major inflows from institutions. But on the other hand, we're not seeing them sell off their position. So really what we're seeing overall is that most whale accounts that have been holding Bitcoin are not changing. They're not really selling anything off. They're not buying anymore at this very moment. A lot of that is just staying relatively stable. And that's one of the reasons why we're not seeing the price or the entire crypto market move up or down in any significant direction, because these big accounts aren't doing too much. From the week in the month of June, we did see a bit of action from you can see right here, Bitcoin whale addresses. So those addresses that hold more than 1,000 Bitcoin, they dropped from 2,150 in May, from almost 2,500 in February. So we could see that most of the action from the whale addresses took place from February to May. And that was the key time that we were seeing Bitcoin's price have that massive correction from 60,000, 65,000 down to 30,000. But since May, not much has changed in terms of institutional demand. We are seeing, though, that there are a lot of signs mounting, that institutions are getting more and more excited about Bitcoin and crypto. They're just not making that move yet. They're not taking that leap, not taking that jump to get in the crypto space. Because according to a couple of industry executives in the crypto world, crypto exchanges, they came out and said that, look, right now, despite there being a sign that there's a bear market, that investors are scared, they don't see massive outflow from institutional users, but they say they are speaking to institutional investors every single day. They're allocating funds in record sizes, getting things set up to eventually invest in crypto, but right now they haven't taken that step yet. They see that they are on the boards of large groups, large institutional firms, various hedge funds, and all of these people, they say they're talking about crypto. They're getting more excited about it, but even though the interest is increasing all across the financial industry and finance space, they're just not taking that big step into saying, let's get into Bitcoin, let's get into crypto. Like, we're not seeing the Blackstones, the BlackRocks, we're not seeing those major investment firms get into crypto just yet, but they are talking about it, making preparations, getting themselves ready to hopefully get into it within the near future. And what we've talked about quite a few times on the channel is, you know what? When Bitcoin, when Ethereum, when the entire crypto world is really going to start to take off in 2021 or even 2022, is going to be when we start to see institutional investors get involved. Because right now, majority of crypto is made up of retail investors, just people like you and me. But that's not enough to really move the market. We want to see the market cap of crypto go from what it is now, which is around a $1.4 billion market cap, to a $4 trillion market cap, trillion dollar. If we want to see again to the multiple $1 trillion market cap, that's going to be when we have to see institutions getting involved. It's not going to be hard for us to see the market cap double or triple from where it is with the entire crypto world. We just need to start to see these big dollars get involved. The investment managers who have $100 billion, $200 billion under assets. We'll see it happen very soon. But either way, institutions right now, they are, for the most part, talking about crypto, gaining more interest in it, but they're just not making that move to get involved yet. That's what's going on with institutions. Big thing, though, did come out from an institution the other day is actually with Ethereum, because the head of digital assets research firm VanEck, they came out, the head of this, his name is Matthew Siegel, he came out and said, look, I think Ethereum could reach a $2 trillion market cap in one of the better, like in the best case scenario, in the blue ocean in the blue sky scenario. He said, best case scenario, really, Ethereum could reach $2 trillion market cap. He said, essentially, why he thinks this could happen is that he thinks this could happen because of what is going on with Ethereum being not just like a store of value like gold, like gold or like Bitcoin, but Ethereum is trying to replace the entire financial world. It's not just a Bitcoin, which is a digital gold. It's much more than that. There's NFTs, there's smart contracts, there's all the DeFi applications being built on it. And so it's the entire technology and the entire reasoning behind Ethereum being able to get a $2 trillion market cap is because right now it's like much cheaper than many Web 2.0 software companies on price to sales and valuation. Like if you're just looking at in terms of the big idea behind Ethereum versus the big idea behind, let's say, Walmart. Like Walmart, its market cap is more, I believe it's more, or it's just about the same as Ethereum, yet Ethereum is such a bigger idea than like even Amazon or Apple. Ethereum is trying to replace the entire financial world, whether we're talking about smart contracts, whether we're talking about NFTs, DeFi, just everything finance related. That's what Ethereum is trying to replace. So according to this manager, he said, and it's important to listen to him because he runs a $72 billion asset management firm. But essentially what he said is, look, right now, with the introduction of traditional financial players writing derivatives on some digital assets and just wider participation globally, all of this is pointing to the crypto asset class maturing over time into something that eventually will be less volatile. And that's important because right now, one of the main reasons why we don't see institutions get involved is for volatility concerns with crypto, with energy consumption concerns, with a couple of regulations, but for the most part, it's like volatility, energy consumption, and just it's a very new market. They don't want to be the first ones in because when you're talking about a $80 billion or $100 billion investment firm, the crypto market, the entire market is worth 1.4 trillion. So like you get into liquidity issues where these firms could invest billions and billions of dollars into crypto, yet there's not that much money in the crypto world relative to what they'd be investing. So just something to keep in mind. For example, like MicroStrategy owns $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, yet Bitcoin's entire market cap is like $600 billion. So they own like a pretty significant portion of all of Bitcoin. And you know what? So it's going to take a little bit of time for us to see these prices stabilize, not see as much volatility. But either way, he says, look, if Ethereum can capture 2/3 of the value and of like this financial world, DeFi in general, if they're able to capture 2/3 of this value and considering, like assuming that Ethereum's market cap to revenue ratio stays relatively the same, well then we could reach about a $1.8 to $2.3 trillion market cap versus what it is now, which is right around $250 billion market cap. So that's pretty exciting stuff to see that a major person at a traditional financial like firm is saying Ethereum is something that they really like. They're very bullish on it because they say it can reach a $2 trillion market cap, so 10x from where it is right now. And that's exciting to see because right now most institutions, if they're invested in crypto, they really only have exposure to Bitcoin. Other than Bitcoin, they don't have exposure to Ethereum or altcoins. Like they're starting to get more into Ethereum, but altcoins for the most part, not involved at all. It's non-existent. So it'll be exciting to see what happens here as we start to see more investment products be allowed and be approved by the SEC. Once we see a Bitcoin ETF, once we see Ethereum ETFs, once we see all these ETPs, which are exchange traded products, those are ways that institutions can invest in altcoins. Once we start to see all of these get approved, that's going to be when we start to see these DeFi coins, like Ethereum, like Cardano, like Solana, like Polygon, all start to really take off. So it'll be exciting to see. But either way, what he says is, look, if you want to be able to reach 7 billion people, they're going to need to start to see some consumer-facing Web 3.0 type of business model that either mimic or improve existing platforms like Airbnb, Spotify, Google, or any of those big guys in a way that goes viral. Once that happens, that's going to be when the entire crypto ecosystem takes off, goes from a $1.4 trillion market cap to, $5, $6, $7 trillion market cap. Because what we're seeing now is Apple and the Apple ecosystem. It didn't take off until we had some major viral apps. For example, like, I don't know if you guys remembered, but there was that beer app on the iPhone when it first came out. It was the dumbest thing ever. You just tilted your phone and it looked like you were like drinking beer. And so before that, before everyone knew about that, like the App Store wasn't so great. It was like whatever. There was nothing too great about it. But over time, more and more apps, more and more use cases were built on top of the Apple ecosystem. Now we have apps like Uber and Lyft, and we have Spotify, and none of these would have been possible without the Apple ecosystem. And that's where we are right now. It's like we have Ethereum, which has all of these potential use cases. It has smart contracts. It has NFTs. It has like DeFi applications that you could build and all the tools necessary to do it. So right now we have the toolbox, but we don't have the finished products yet. So we don't have any of these game-changing DeFi apps that will be like the Spotify or the Uber or the Lyft of the crypto world. That's what we talked about the other day with Coinbase wanting to make an app store. But that's when we're going to start to see the crypto market take off. It's not only money from institutions, but also when we see crypto business models, crypto and Web 3.0 companies start to take off. Because right now we're not there yet. We see like Ethereum, we see all of its potential. We see Bitcoin, we see all the potential of blockchain, but no one has really put it into something that is a major app yet. Someone can make an app that is a competitor to YouTube. I've heard so many people say that there should be competitors to YouTube. Let me know what you guys think of that. But a lot of people I talk to say that there should be a competitor to YouTube. YouTube has a complete monopoly on videos. And so many people I talk to, they want to have something else other than YouTube that they could either post videos on or somewhere else that they can go and watch content on. But right now there's nothing. So maybe someone's going to create something that is a competitor to YouTube using crypto and like a Web 3.0 type of business model. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's definitely very possible. Would you guys like to see something that's like a competitor to YouTube that potentially could be a Web 3.0 type of business model? I think it would be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. But next up, let's go over what's going on with Elon Musk. Elon Musk came out the other day. I'm just looking at the chat real quick. Well, if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat. We'll talk about the end. But let's talk about what's going on with Elon Musk, because he has been going crazy over the last couple of hours, last 24 hours on Twitter. So first of all, if we just look at this, like tweets and replies, okay. He has been on like a rampage 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours. Like he was just tweeting so much overnight. And when we started to look at this, he tweeted a lot about Dogecoin, and that makes the Dogecoin community just happy. It just makes them smile on the inside. Like they're just very happy whenever Elon Musk tweets about Dogecoin, because it makes the price go up. It makes the price of Shiba Inu coin. It makes the price of, I heard there's a coin called Baby Doge. And then it makes the price of Dogecoin. All of these coins go up every single time Elon Musk tweets about it. And he came out earlier, 3 hours ago, middle of the night basically, really early in the morning. He said, Baby Doge, and he just tweeted Baby Doge a bunch of times. And he also tweeted this with a meme that says, release the Doge. And the meme says, you come to me at runtime to tell me the code you're executing does not compile. So he's just tweeting about Doge again, getting more people excited. This is important because the other day he had actually been talking about Dogecoin and how they have a new proposal, a new fee change that would be beneficial to Dogecoin and the entire community, make it more efficient moving forward. He said that everyone should go ahead and support this. And since then, we've seen him come out, talk a little bit more about Dogecoin, and this caused the price to actually spike. As soon as he tweeted this, we saw Dogecoin's price spike immediately. You can see right here. As soon as he tweeted this, it was at 4 a.m. We saw the price of Dogecoin go from 23 cents, like 23.9 cents per coin, all the way up to 25. So it had about a 10% jump as soon as he tweeted out about Baby Doge, Dogecoin, and just liking a tweet about Dogecoin. So we see that every single time he tweets something, it like manipulates the market. The market goes up or down almost at the exact moment that he tweets something. It's like people are just sitting at their computers in the middle of the night. If you're in California, like 1 a.m. East Coast, it was 4 a.m. If you're just sitting there waiting and getting ready to see the very moment that Elon Musk tweets to buy more Dogecoin or sell more Dogecoin. So, you know what? It's exciting to see, because for the Dogecoin community, what it's all based on is community. And the only way to grow the community is by people talking about it, especially Elon Musk. We need to see him talk about it, tweet about it, and it gets more people involved and more people excited about the coin. Because everyone now with meme stocks, meme coins, the thing that they're excited about is all these funny memes. The community behind it is strong. People are just always talking with each other, coming up with funnier memes, and that's for all these new coins. Baby Doge, it's just a joke, but same thing. Like, people come up with all these new coins, they make them a real thing because of the memes and the community. So the only way it's going to grow is by growing the community, and that's exactly what Elon Musk does every single time he tweets about it. So it's exciting to see, if you're part of the Dogecoin community, to see that Elon Musk is back again, tweeting more and more about Dogecoin. If you guys are just joining us, if you can, please be sure to like this stream. Helps this get this video out to more people. Let's see if we can get it to 150 likes. If we get to 150 likes, we will stay on a lot longer, answer all of your questions at the end like we normally do. But let me know what you guys think. And I'm checking out the chat real quick. Tommy Santana says Rumble. I believe that's a platform that's competitor to Twitter, YouTube, right? I prefer Twitch for content such as this. Nice. 1 cent is not much. Was more in the past. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get back to the chat in a minute. Just if you guys have any questions, throw it in the chat. Let's get this video up to 150 likes, and let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, next up, let's talk about something. This is big for crypto. This is a huge announcement with regards to what is going on with institutions offering crypto services. Because the one thing that I've spoken about, you guys know this, is right now there have been many reports written about crypto explaining how 6% of the US population owns crypto, and 25% of all investors are invested in crypto. So that's a very small percentage. 6% of all people, that is barely anything in the US. 25% of investors, that's still not a lot. So imagine once that 6% of all people in the US goes to 50% or 60%. Imagine how much more money from retail investors alone is going to be poured into crypto. And I think it's just a matter of time, especially once, Apple comes out with their digital wallet for crypto, because they've been talking about that. Or like what we're seeing with Venmo. As soon as Venmo started to allow crypto to be bought and sold or sent to people, it made it so much easier. On Venmo, you can buy, sell crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and it makes it so much easier. Same with Cash App. So once they did that, it opened the door up to so many more just regular everyday people who would probably not go and download Coinbase. It opened the door for them to easily get access to crypto. And that's something that is going to change the crypto world, because the only way it's going to continue to grow and grow exponentially is by people actually having access to it, and easy access. So it's not like, oh, you have to download this app, you have to take a QR code, send it to this. It's like, no. The way that crypto is going to be really mainstream is when you could just use it exactly like Venmo, exactly like Cash App. Just go to a register checkout and just, you want to buy something with crypto. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, I don't care what it is, Dogecoin, doesn't matter. If you could just go, send your friend, let's say you went out to eat, and like on Venmo or Cash App, you normally would send your friend like $5 because they bought you something. If you could just send them $5 in Bitcoin, that was a game changer when Venmo did that. But that's only for retail investors. And that's still not the majority of people. Remember, not everyone has Venmo, not everyone has Cash App. It seems like it, but not everyone does. So payment giants NCR, the other day, they came out and signed an official partnership with a company called New York Digital Investment Group, which is NYDIG. And with this partnership and them collaborating, they're going to allow 650 US banks to offer Bitcoin trading into their 24 million customers through mobile applications. So this is going to be very, very important for crypto. Like 24 million people is not the entire US. There's over 300 million people, but we have seen over the last couple of weeks that the company, what is it? the company NYDIG, which is a financial services company that they have been making major partnerships over the last couple of days with Fidelity, with now with NCR, and with all of these. Now what they say is that people are going to be able to they're going to be able to trade Bitcoin directly through their banking applications. And think about it, almost everyone has a mobile banking app on their phone, whether it's a small local bank, whether it's Chase Bank, whether it's SunTrust, or it doesn't matter. Most people that I know, at least, have access to mobile banking, whether that's directly on their computer, whether that's directly on their phone. The banks want people to pay bills, do a lot of that stuff through mobile banking. Not everyone does, but most banks do. And with this partnership, there's going to be 24 million new customers that are going to have access to trading crypto directly through their mobile banking apps. And according to the NCR's president of digital banking, Douglas Brown, he said, look, we're firm believers in the benefits of crypto and the strategic application, and that's true for our banking relationships, as evidenced by NYDIG and across retailers as well as restaurants and the like. So NCR is a company that's been around forever. Founded in 1884, 34,000 employees, 160 countries. It has a very, very wide net, a very wide reach. And according to reports, they're the number one point of sale software provider for retail and hospitality, and the number one provider of multi-vendor ATM softwares. So it's not just about giving banks access to trading crypto, but NCR works with tens of thousands of restaurants, retail chains, hotels, and more. They have a 45% market share of the grocery and of grocery stores and retail stores globally for point of sale software. This is exactly where you actually pay. This is how you pay for your things when you go to retailers, when you go to grocery stores. So imagine if you could easily just access crypto directly into that. Makes it so much easier, changes the game. That changes the game, because if you're talking with the software that helps process payments, the software for retailers and hospitality industry and grocery stores, if they're integrating crypto trading and buying, selling, accepting crypto, that's going to be how this really changes. And this is just really exciting because NCR's chief technology officer already working with 200,000 restaurants to help them offer Bitcoin payments. They said that they're going to make Bitcoin trading available on over 800,000 ATMs very shortly. And they've also announced partnerships with Finserv, with Fidelity. They're making major moves. And so for me, the thing that I'm excited about is the only way crypto is going to continue to get bigger is by making it easier and easier for people to access it. Venmo, Cash App have done that. More and more companies are continuing to do this, and as it's just integrated into things that people already use, like their banking apps, like directly at the point of sale systems at grocery stores, it makes it so much easier because people aren't going to want to go out of their way to spend crypto unless they have a lot of money in crypto. Like if it's just a regular everyday person, they're like, oh, my crypto's used for my investments. That's what it is. But when we're going to start to see it transfer over is when, let's say you're going to the store and it's like with an Apple Wallet. You have your credit cards like already uploaded onto your Apple Wallet sometimes, and then you don't have to bring your wallet anywhere. It's like if you go on a run, you go for a walk, you are going somewhere, it would be so much easier to not have to bring all of your cards. Like if you're driving, okay, you have to bring your license. But it's like if you're just, let's say you walk somewhere, you take the subway, wherever you live, if you ride a bike, if you could just go with your phone and that's it, you could pay for everything you need to. You could do everything you need to directly from your phone. It makes it so much easier. You don't have to worry about carrying all the extra stuff around. And like me personally, if I could easily pay and just bring my phone, I do that because I don't always like having to bring my wallet if I'm just walking somewhere. I'd rather just use Apple Pay. I'd rather just pay with, Venmo or Cash App. It makes it a lot easier, in my opinion. So this partnership is absolutely huge for crypto because it's bringing it to tens of millions of more customers, making crypto very easy directly into their bank account apps, mobile banking. This is huge. This is huge. couple more stories for you guys, and if you are just joining us, make sure to like the video. Let's see if we can get this up to 150 likes, and we will talk about everything going on. A couple people are asking about what's going on with Robinhood, what's going on with the short squeeze stocks. We can talk about all of that. So got a couple more stories I want to go over. Throw any questions you guys have in the chat. I did have a video planned for later about Robinhood, so I think we'll keep that story for a bit later. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it real quick. I don't want to miss out on it. Okay, next up, let's go over what exactly is going on with the Valkyrie Bitcoin ETF. So this one, you guys may not find this as interesting, but it's actually pretty important. So right here, we're seeing crypto trading firm Valkyrie raise $10 million to drive the Bitcoin ETF. We're seeing about a dozen Bitcoin ETFs that have been submitted for approval to the SEC. None of them have been approved yet. ARK Invest filed for a Bitcoin ETF. VanEck has filed for a Bitcoin ETF. Wisdom Tree, Valkyrie, all these companies all have filed with SEC for a Bitcoin ETF, yet none of them have been approved. So what we're seeing now is that crypto trading firm Valkyrie just raised another $10 million in hopes of accelerating the process to the Bitcoin ETF. And the thing that's important about this is not exactly that they raised $10 million, because for them it's not a lot. But the important thing is who they raised the money from. So they raised the money led by Precept Capital Management, XBTO, whatever. Those are investment management companies. Not so exciting. But the exciting people are Tron, the Tron founder, Justin Sun, the Litecoin founder, Charlie Lee, and former Major League Baseball pitcher, CJ Wilson. So it's exciting to see some of these big name people in the crypto world combined with the sports world backing this crypto investment fund. And they said that this funding is going to help drive Valkyrie's 3 business lines. It's going to help drive a new trust or separate management account designed for institutional investors, the new ETF that they just filed, and a hedge fund business. So it's going to help them continue to grow, continue to expand into offering more crypto products, which is going to therefore make it easier for institutions to get involved in crypto. And we know as soon as one Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF gets approved, that's going to be when the entire crypto market takes off. Because right now, zero. Zilch, nothing. No crypto ETFs have been approved. No Bitcoin or Ethereum ETFs have been approved. As soon as we see one of them, the floodgates are going to open. We're going to start to see more. We're first of all going to see all of them get approved very quickly. And then after that, we're going to start to see institutions get involved. Is it going to happen in this summer of 2021? Hopefully, the SEC has a lot of decisions coming up. They could just delay them like they have. But we should see it at some point in the second half of 2021 or early 2022. And even everyone right now, institutions, executives at investment management companies, they're all saying that never in their career in financial services have they seen anything like what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these applications with the SEC. They said never before have they seen where there are 13 applications for the same exact ETF product. Not only that, but they all have the same applications, and the SEC has not approved any of them. You would think that they would want to approve one. They would want to approve these ETFs, because what this shows is that if there's 13 applications for the same exact product, that means that there is a lot of demand. Everyone is saying they have never seen this many applications for the same exact ETF ever before. So what this is showing us is how much demand there is from retailers and how much institutions want to get in early on getting the first ETF for Bitcoin in the US, because we know once there's one Bitcoin ETF, they all offer basically the same thing. So all of these companies are in a race to getting the first Bitcoin ETF approved, because if they could be the first, well, maybe then they could be that leader. They could be the biggest Bitcoin ETF. And that's going to be great for their business in the future. So we'll see what happens. But exciting stuff, raising more money, going to have more investment products that are going to make it easier for institutions. And that brings us into our next topic, which is something that has been developing over the last couple of weeks. That's with China. So right now, China has been making a lot of major moves with crypto lately. They've been talking a lot about, first of all, banning cryptocurrency trading activities. Then they banned Bitcoin mining. Then they really said, look, we're not just saying we're banning crypto mining and banning crypto trading activities like we used to. We mean it. And this time they stepped in, they got involved with the 5 biggest banks in China, and they made sure that they cracked down on any sort of crypto related activities. But now what we're seeing is that they're starting to push heavily into their own digital yuan. So we talked about this a lot. The reason why China has been cracking down on Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto in general is because even though they've had all of these bans in place for years, this isn't the first time. They had bans in place in 2017. They had bans in place in 2013. So the reason why that they're cracking down now and really getting serious about it now is because now is the first time that we're finally seeing them ready to roll out their digital yuan, their own central bank digital currency. This is the first time they're ever doing this, and they've been making major moves recently. So we're seeing the biggest announcement, which came out within the last 24 hours, is that Beijing now accepts digital yuan payments for ride fares. This is huge. Beijing, one of the largest cities in China, and this is a very big deal because we're starting to see more and more like use cases and real world scenarios where people can start to pay with, it's not crypto, but it's a central bank digital currency. It's very similar to crypto. And so what we're seeing is that China has been making a major push. They've sent out a bunch of these things called red envelopes to people. It's like a red envelope lottery. It was about $9 million where they just sent out to random people giving digital yuan away. Also, 3,000 ATMs have implemented implemented digital yuan payments. In addition to that, subcontractors, workers at major companies like JD.com, like Alibaba, are already getting paid with the central bank digital currency, the digital yuan. And now that we're seeing on top of all this that people can pay subway rail fees with the digital yuan. So this is huge. This is huge because what it shows us is that even though we don't know exactly how much people are adopting it, what we do know is that China is doing the best they possibly can, making the biggest push they possibly can to get people directly involved with the central bank digital currency because they don't want anyone or anything to get in the way of their own digital yuan. If it's crypto, banned. If it's another currency, banned. They don't want anything to get involved where it's going to take away from their digital yuan. And now they're really starting to push this out. They've already spoken about how the 2022 Winter Olympics, they want to allow people to use the digital yuan when they come to China. They said that they're going to be testing it, using it a lot there. Seems like they're accelerating the process even faster. They have over 3,000 ATMs that accept the digital yuan. Now they're accepting it for subway rail fees. Now people are getting paid with it at companies like Starbucks and JD.com. Companies that do business in China are paying employees with it, and they also are accepting it. So this is exciting to see. We probably will see the US follow very quickly after. I know no one cares. Everyone's like, who cares what China's doing? It's important because it will have impacts on crypto, on the US, how fast we get a central bank digital currency out, and how much people are actually going to still be able to get access to crypto in China. Like, there are a lot of workarounds that people currently do, but still it's important to see what's going on here, because anytime we see a major push for China, whether it's in crypto or a central bank digital currency, we start to see the crypto world just freak out, get scared, and a lot of the times when news comes out from China related to crypto, it's not too great, and so people get worried. This isn't bad. This is nothing new, but either way, the thing to keep in mind with this right now is we don't know exactly how much money or how many people are using the digital yuan. There was a report published in mid-May that had shown that the alleged hotspot of where a lot of people were using this in China, in a specific city, that it didn't really see widespread acceptance like they originally thought. But it's hard to know exactly, engage exactly, because of the media coming out of China. They can, control the narrative of what's coming out. So it's hard to know exactly. But what we've seen in the past and what we do know is that China's pushing for it, and eventually people will use it, because it's not any different than just using like a dollar in the US. If you use a dollar, it would be the same as if the US government said, you could use like a digital dollar. Same sort of thing. In Venezuela, they tried to do the same thing. They created a crypto called the Petro, and this is supposed to be like a central bank digital currency, same sort of thing. But the thing with this is that they had announced thousands of merchants would accept it, thousands of people could pay with it, and people could get government payments in Petro as well. However, it doesn't seem like that's that's getting too much traction in Venezuela. So we'll see what happens. It's different with China because China has, can put any regulations in place. They can do whatever they want, make sure that their digital yuan works. So I'm not worried about it working. It's just interesting to see that now they're pushing into it a lot faster than people were originally saying. Moving on, let's talk about what is going on with Coinbase. So we talked about this the other day, but I want to quickly talk about it again, a couple of new details, and that is with the Coinbase Apple-like crypto app store. This is something huge. I don't think we gave it enough attention in the video the other day because I don't think people understand how big this is. This is something that's really huge. It's going to be something that changes crypto forever. It's like the moment when Apple created the iPhone. It's something that is so huge because before Apple, imagine how many companies have come out from Apple creating the App Store. We have Uber, we have Lyft, we have Spotify, we have really Twitter. I mean, people use Twitter on their computer, but so many apps like Instagram, Facebook, so many apps and companies have come out because of the App Store. They would have never been as big or gained traction as quickly if they were only based on the computer. So as soon as Apple came out with the iPhone, they had the App Store. This is the game-changing moment, and that's going to be what we see with crypto and Coinbase in particular. So Coinbase is in talks to be launching an Apple-like crypto App Store, and this is what we spoke about earlier. So exactly what we're seeing in crypto. One of the reasons why the manager at the investment firm VanEck, digital assets research firm, VanEck, like what he had said is, look, when we're going to start to see Ethereum explode, Bitcoin explode, the entire crypto market explode is going to be when we start to see consumer-facing Web 3.0 type of business models that either mimic or improve on existing platforms like Airbnb, Spotify, Google, or any of those big guys in a way that goes viral. So what he's saying is, as soon as we start to see a business that is built sort of on the back of blockchain, on the back of crypto, on the back of Web 3.0, that's going to be when we start to see the entire crypto world take off and really explode. This is exactly what he said, and this is exactly what Coinbase is trying to do with their crypto app store. So what, according to Brian Armstrong, Coinbase's CEO, he came out and said that Apple didn't attempt to build every single app for the iPhone. They gave developers tools, they empowered them, and they made it easy for people to access new innovative apps, but they didn't try and build everything themselves. They provided the tools, they let developers do the work, people who wanted to build businesses do the work, and then that's how we saw all of these news companies pop up, like Facebook, Facebook would have been around, but Facebook exploded because of it. We saw Spotify, we saw Uber and Lyft. None of these would have been possible without Apple and the tools they provided for developers and people. So that's what we're seeing with crypto, and it's very exciting to see because Coinbase, they say their goal is that soon any app built on decentralized crypto rails will be accessible to users of the Coinbase app. They say in the future they want to have something where Coinbase is the app you go to get any sort of crypto related service or function or DeFi app or anything related to crypto. They want to make it that Coinbase is the go-to. And this is exciting because right now Coinbase already is the go-to for so many people. Coinbase is the platform that when a crypto is listed on Coinbase, people say, okay, this crypto has been vetted. It is legit now. Coinbase gives them the stamp of approval saying our cryptocurrency, our project is legitimate. Coinbase has done its research, looked into us, and we're not a scam. Coinbase is a stamp of approval, and it really serves as a bridge to so many retail investors, so many new people in the crypto world that it's just very exciting to see that they're going to be offering, and they're already in talks of having a Apple-like app store for the crypto world. It's going to be huge, and this is exactly what so many investment managers are saying we need. We need to see someone or some group of people build a Web 3.0 type of business model that mimics Airbnb, Spotify, Google, and they're able to it'll be built. This is exactly what Coinbase is trying to do, trying to promote these apps from being built. And once we see that, that's going to be when we start to see the crypto world take off. So very exciting stuff. In my opinion, I think with all of these apps being built, I don't think it's just going to be someone mimicking Airbnb or Spotify or Google. and saying you could pay with crypto, because that's not enough. Airbnb could easily just make itself a platform where you pay with crypto. Like, the thing, it's not just about paying with crypto, because anyone could do that. It's about the whole entire back end of the system. A couple of people in the chat have talked about, I think there's a company called Rumble, I believe, that's maybe like a video similar to a YouTube, where it's all decentralized. But it's going to be much more than just paying with Bitcoin or paying with your crypto wallet on Coinbase. It's going to be like an Spotify or a Google or an Airbnb that is like completely decentralized and builds like a project. It's like building. You can't just mimic it exactly. You can't. It's gonna be different enough in the model and keep it more decentralized. That's my opinion, at least. Okay, next up, I want to go over one thing in particular with crypto that a lot of people have been talking about recently with regards to where the crypto world is going in terms of the second half of 2021. So we're going to go over 5 specific trends to keep an eye out for, and 5 risks that could either make or break the second half of 2021, seeing it that we could have a massive bull run, we could see just a crypto winter where we just see it consolidate, or we see a bear market. I think these are going to be the 5 biggest things to just keep an eye out for. So I want to talk about this, and then we'll get into a couple of things on the chat and a couple of other topics as well. So first off, let's talk about what's going on, the 5 big things. So we've talked about these a lot, but I think they put them together very nicely with this article in particular. So one of the biggest risks right now for crypto, whenever we're talking about risks, think of it like it's a risk, but it's also a huge, huge opportunity. So the biggest thing right now that I see is with regulation. It's a risk, but it's a huge opportunity as well, because in recent weeks, China has cracked down on crypto mining. They banned all crypto-related activities. We saw that in China. In the UK, there was a crackdown on a bunch of different crypto exchanges, with Binance in particular. A bank called TSB banned people from sending money to Kraken, Binance, or any crypto exchange. So those are the downsides. Governments restricting payments, restricting access to crypto exchanges, those are the downsides. But on the upside, like the opportunity with regulations, which could be huge in 2021, is going to be with like the US government approving a Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF, with the US government going ahead and, pushing, like, not putting too many restrictions in place for crypto. But the other thing is also, once we start to see regulations in place, as long as they're not banning crypto outright, as long as they're making it more accessible for institutions, regulations are going to happen in the US. It's inevitable. Is it good? Is it bad? Like, I don't know. But what we do know is that regulations are going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But hopefully, in the second half of 2021, we see these Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs passed. We see all these regulations come out where they make it easier for institutions to get involved, because right now the biggest thing holding crypto back, in my opinion, is that institutional investors are not yet involved in crypto. They are looking at crypto, they're talking about crypto, they're interested in it, but they're worried about all the regulations with the government, they're worried about volatility, they're worried about energy consumption, so they're worried about all of that. So regulations are both good and bad. There's a lot of risks, but there's also a lot of opportunities that could create a bull market in the second half of 2021, specifically with regards to the Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs getting approved in the US, which I think is inevitable. The second thing is volatility. This is a huge risk for institutions, because a lot of the time they have to meet certain requirements of, let's say, returns every single year. We've seen so many banks, first of all, like hedge funds, go out of business this year or struggle because of meme stocks. They struggle with GameStop, with AMC. We've seen banks entirely shut down, or banks just, or hedge funds just entirely get screwed from what's going on with hedge funds. And a lot of retail investors love this. But the thing with volatility in the crypto world is that it is very common to see prices go from 60,000 for Bitcoin to 30,000. It is very common to see a 50% drop off. And because of this, institutions are just a little more hesitant. They're like, that's a lot of risk. Do they want to be involved in something where it could drop 50% in a matter of a couple of hours? I don't know. And right now it seems like they don't want to do that. But as we start to see more and more money get involved with crypto, volatility is going to start to decrease, especially for the likes of Bitcoin, especially for Ethereum. As more money gets involved, volatility goes down. It's just inevitable. So that's something else to keep in mind. Third risk right now is with environmental concerns, but this also could be something really, really big for crypto in the second half of 2021, because right now environmental concerns are something that have been talked about more heavily over the last 6 months. Ever since we started to see Bitcoin's price really take off, we saw gas fees increase dramatically for Ethereum. Ever since we've seen all of this start to do, as we start to see more people talk about crypto, that's when environmental concerns came to the forefront. Like Elon Musk came out and said, look, at first he said we were going to accept Bitcoin. Then he said we're not going to accept Bitcoin because of regulation issues. But the thing with environmental concerns is ever since China cracked down on crypto and crypto mining, all these Bitcoin miners are looking elsewhere. They're looking for more energy efficient areas, because the one thing that separates Bitcoin miners, like the one thing that separates one Bitcoin mining company from another, is really how cheap of energy they can, like how cheap the energy is. That's the main difference. Can they get energy for cheaper? Do they have to pay as much? Because that's how they make more profit. So I think people moving out of China, Bitcoin miners, is going to help with these environmental concerns, because people are going to look for more energy efficient ways to mine Bitcoin and cheaper ways to mine Bitcoin. In addition to this, with environmental concerns, since people have talked about this and been criticizing Bitcoin, I think we're going to start to see more and more people look for ways to improve and make this better, find more energy efficient ways to mine Bitcoin. I think it's just inevitable before we will see that happen. So that's something also I really like. Other thing is stablecoin scrutiny. A lot of people are getting worried that Tether is not backed completely one-to-one in terms of the US dollar. It's supposed to be, but a lot of investors get worried that it's not backed one-to-one. And then the last thing is meme coins and scams. I think we're not going to see these go away ever, because what people have realized with social media is that if you're talking about a stock, if you're talking about a crypto, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Dogecoin, AMC, whatever you're talking about, that if there are enough retail investors behind something, they can push the price up higher just because the community is strong enough. So those are the things to keep an eye out for in 2021. Could have big impacts, could have, either way, up or down. So it's just something to keep an eye out on over the next couple of weeks and next couple of months. Let me look at the chat real quick, then we'll get into a couple more topics. If you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the stream. Let's see if we get this up to 150 likes. Let's see if we get up to 200 likes. Let's see if we get this up to 200 likes. Throw anything in the chat that you want to talk about, and we're going to look at this very, very soon. Yes, Stan, let's hit 150 likes. Let's go. Okay, I see someone else talking about something with Dogecoin, which we will quickly go over. Then I want to talk about what's going on with Robinhood Crypto, and what is going on with the recent news that came out that Robinhood has to pay $70 million to just regular people on the platform. So let's first start off with what's going on with Dogecoin. A couple people have been commenting about this thing that happened with Dogecoin the other day. In addition to Elon Musk, there actually have been 3 major announcements that have come out with Dogecoin. We quickly touched on it the other day. But let's go over them again. So the first is going to be with a company called a crypto-friendly travel site called Get Your Guide. Here it is. And what it says is that they're moving to the U.S., launched in the U.S. officially. They're a German-based company, and they're accepting Dogecoin as a payment option. First time that they are moving to the U.S. It's a big deal because they say they've booked 45 million plus tours in 170 countries to date. They say that coming to the U.S., they're going to offer a bunch of different bookings, activities, and things like that. And they said they're going to be doing this in like Hawaii, Las Vegas, Florida, and travel destinations. So it's exciting to see that we are seeing people not only accept crypto in general, because they accept a lot of different types of crypto, but that we're seeing companies move to the US, and a way that they're thinking that they can get more people is by incorporating crypto. And we've seen this happen multiple times. Companies say that I'm going to accept Dogecoin or I'm going to accept Bitcoin. And because of this, you hear about them in the news. Like, we would have never heard about this company, Get Your Guide. Never. I mean, I'd never heard of it, but I don't think I would have heard of it as soon as I did, unless I saw this article that they were accepting Dogecoin and accepting crypto. It says crypto-friendly travel site. So because of this, these companies are getting more and more attention. And I think it is going to be something that is going to push more companies to do this, more companies just to accept crypto simply for the fact that it's going to get them more media attention, like get articles written about them all across the news. And that helps, could help get them new users, help pay off itself simply by doing that. We've already seen, the Dallas Mavericks accept crypto, Houston Rockets, Virgin Galactic, Cheap Air. What other ones? A couple of resorts and casinos in Las Vegas. We're already seeing a lot of people accept crypto. But the thing is every time a new company comes out saying that they will, it pushes more and more people to hear about that company. We would have never heard about Get Your Guide. I'm sorry, but I never had heard about them. I don't think I would have heard about them anytime soon. So this helped out quite a bit. Other thing with Dogecoin that did come out that a lot of people have been talking about is actually a game. There's a Dogecoin millionaire. He got into Dogecoin very early, and he came out with a new game for cell phones, and he's giving away 1 million Doge in this project. So essentially what it is his name is Gary LaChance, and he is a co-inventor of the Decentralized Dance Party, which is a roving celebration powered by a radio transmitter, hundreds of boomboxes, and thousands of dancers. And essentially what it is he said this is a blockchain-based game he launched the other day, and they're going to be giving away 1 million Dogecoin to people who are using it. So it's exciting to see, again, that he said, look, 1 million Doge to seed in-game giveaways and help fund development. That's like a majority. He said, that's like the majority of my Doge. I will not be a millionaire once I give that away. But you know what? It shows that he says he's trying to find a fun, silly way to get people involved in crypto, get people involved with gold. So we'll see what happens. But it's very exciting to see that more projects, more people are trying to promote Dogecoin community. Everyone in the Doge community loves this, loves anything related to Doge. So it's exciting to see that. And one of the last stories I do want to talk about is what is going on with Robinhood. So before we get into that, if you guys can, let's see if we can get this up to 200 likes. Helps me out a lot. And if we do get it up to 200 likes, we'll stay on a bit longer, answer more of your questions. Just let me know. Let me know in the chat if you want me to stay. Let's see if we can get up to 200 likes by 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we got about 5 minutes. If we get it up to 200 likes, we'll stay a bit longer. Last topic I want to go over, though, is what is going on with Robinhood. So Robinhood has to pay a $70 million fine after causing widespread and significant harm, according to the report. And according to Robinhood, they said that they have to settle allegations that they had caused customers widespread and significant harm on multiple different fronts over the past few years. This is not just to do with GameStop, what happened there, or what happened with AMC earlier in January. This has to go back a couple of years. And this is important because this is the largest financial penalty ever ordered by the organization. They have never had to pay that much out. And this is a big deal. So it says, it's the largest financial penalty ever ordered by the organization, a non-government entity ordered by Congress to oversee thousands of brokers across the U.S. They said specifically, the investigation found that millions of customers received false or misleading information from Robinhood on a variety of issues, including how much money customers had in their accounts, whether they could place trades on margin, and more. They said the inaccurate information cost more than $7 million for customers, and Robinhood is required to pay restitution to the affected users. In addition to this, they said the other allegations addressed the settlements. In the settlements include that Robinhood approved risky option trades for thousands of users when it should not have, and did not have enough to prevent system outages in March of 2020 that adversely affected millions of users. Robinhood has invested in improving this already, they said, but according to Robinhood, they said they're glad to put this matter behind them. They're looking forward in the future. Either way, though, we know that there have been a lot of issues with Robinhood recently, between what's going on with GameStop, them limiting how much people could buy, between what's going on with AMC and, that they've put on so many restrictions on people's accounts, and people are not happy about this. The other thing that we have seen recently is this has happened multiple times. Like, I've woken up in the morning or looked at the phone late at night, and the balance on Robinhood one time said negative. And I don't have It just wasn't possible with what I had invested. Like I don't think I had anything on margin. I had 0 options. It was just straight regular investments. And so it was literally impossible for it to be negative. So it's not like it's something new. It happens to lots of people. And one of the biggest stories that had actually happened recently, fairly recently, about Robinhood having, inaccurate funds and showing inaccurate numbers on the app is, I don't know if you guys heard this story, but it was earlier in this, it happened in 2020, but it came to a lot of people's attention in 2021. And that was with what happened with Robinhood and a 20-year-old trader who had committed suicide after believing he racked up huge losses. So this person, he had believed that he had a negative $730,000 cash balance on Robinhood. And it was simply a glitch in the system. Something that, like what happened to me that I told you guys, where it said negative. And it was just a glitch in the system. And because of this, because of Robinhood's, they said, reckless conduct directly and proximately caused, Robinhood's reckless conduct directly and proximately caused the death of one of its victims. So it's like, this is not new. Robinhood has had to pay for these things in the past. They've been sued multiple times for this in the past. And it's just become more apparent recently between what happened with GameStop and AMC, restricting trading, not having enough money not having enough money to allow people to buy and sell whatever they want, and also what happened where like they said, Robinhood is letting people take out too much margin and take too risky of option trades. And so because of all these reasons and because of the inaccurate balances that have been shown on Robinhood, they have to pay $70 million a fine after causing widespread and significant harm. I don't think this relates specifically to that $70 million. I think is completely separate from this 20-year-old incident where he had committed suicide. I believe it is separate because that happened a while ago. They had sued the company separately, like this family had sued the company separately. So I think it's unrelated entirely, but it just shows you that this is something that has happened multiple times. I could be wrong. It could be part of the lawsuit. Maybe they just combined everything. But what we are seeing is that they've had inaccurate balances multiple times. I still use Robinhood. I don't have a majority of my money. Like, majority of my money is on other brokerage apps. But like, if I'm looking for something that's easy, you could do fractional shares, and like a lot of companies could do that now, 0 commission. Like, Robinhood's great. I have Robinhood. I do like public.com a lot because it's like a Twitter combined with a Robinhood. So if you guys don't already follow me on that, follow me on public.com. You can see exactly what I'm buying and selling. But either way, what this incident shows is, look, negative balance was showed back in 2020 on this person's account, caused significant damage. Person committed suicide. Other than this, we saw major incidents happen back in January, February, March of 2021 of this year with people regarding the GameStop and AMC incidents on Robinhood. So it's nothing new. It's happened multiple times. And because of this, they've had to pay out significant fines. And remember, it's not just this. This is like the basics of the situation. But essentially, it has to do with inaccurate balances, what's happened with GameStop and AMC, because they've restricted trading at certain times where people couldn't get out of their accounts, out of their positions. And a lot of people lost a lot of money from, let's say, GameStop and AMC simply because there were outages, people couldn't sell, or they restricted certain trading. So there've been a lot of issues around this recently. So yeah, that's what's really going on today. If you guys want to stay on for a bit longer, if we get this video up to 200 likes, we'll stay on like an extra 15, 20 minutes. If we get it, we can stay on longer than that. But first of all, let's see if we get it up to 200 likes. If you want us to stay. If you don't, then you know what, you don't have to like it at all. And also throw anything in the chat that you do want to talk about, from anything from Dogecoin to Cardano to AMC stock to STEM Inc. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. Just throw it in the chat, and let's see if we can get up to 200 likes to continue going. I'm gonna look at the chat real quick. I haven't really checked it out in a while. someone said, people are commenting about Dogecoin, how Elon Musk is talking about Dogecoin. Yeah, he talked about baby Doge. People are saying, what is baby Doge? Baby Doge, it is like a complete joke. If you look up baby Doge, what it says on Google is, if you just type in, I'm going to type it in, baby Doge crypto. Here it is. It says, if you like Doge, then you'll fall in love with baby Dogecoin. It says, baby Dogecoin has learned a few tricks and lessons from its meme father, Doge. A new crypto birthed by fans and members of the Dogecoin online community, baby Doge seeks to impress his father by showing his new improved transaction speeds and adorableness. He is hyper deflationary, which with an integrated smart staking system built in to reward you. So more baby Dogecoins are created automatically and added to your wallet with each transaction. Simply love, pet, and watch your baby Doge grow. So it's a complete joke. But you know what? Its price is going up recently with what's happened with its price has gone up recently with what has happened with Dogecoin and Elon Musk tweeting about it. So interesting to see that. Housing market, Angel Castro. We'll talk about the housing market. I can do an entire video on that. Let's see. If we get this up to 200 likes, I'll stay on and we'll talk about those things. But if not, I think I'm going to probably head out and we'll do a couple more videos on, I have planned for today. A couple more videos I do have planned. So yeah, people are talking about baby Doge. That's what it is. Baby Doge is what it's called because they're just making a joke out of Dogecoin. But yeah, so that's what's really going on. A couple of key indicators. Let's reload this page, see what's happening with crypto, make sure this is the most up to date. Yeah, so Bitcoin's down about 3.5%. Nothing too crazy today. Well, good morning, Christian. What is up? Holly Gravy, what is up? Bitcoin's down a little bit. Ethereum's relatively flat. The market's pretty flat today. Nothing too crazy. We're just continuing to see Bitcoin consolidate, continuing to see Bitcoin's price move sideways as we have seen it, drop back down below that 100-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. So everyone likes, typically if you look at the charts and that's something you like to follow, me personally, I like to look at the big ideas, big picture, what's going on in the news, what's going on with the market. I'm not someone who looks at the charts in order to say, should I buy something? Should I sell something? I'm more about look at the big idea, what the project is doing, big announcements that have come out, where it's going. That's how I evaluate something like that. But anyways, that's what we're seeing right now. Bitcoin's price, $33,578. And I think we're going to head off for now because we didn't get to 200 likes. We said until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. We're already past that. So I think I'm going to head off for right now. I will go live again tomorrow, guys. Every single morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to go live talking about crypto, talking about just Bitcoin and crypto news. I hope you guys appreciate that I don't put clickbait titles. I just keep it straight up with you. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin news. Put the date. I don't try and do anything silly, do anything like deceive anyone. It's just cryptocurrency, Bitcoin news, straight up. That's what it is. So if you guys like those sort of titles, appreciate that I just talk about everything. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. Hope you have a great rest of the day. First day of July, and I'll see you